the Tombstone is such a horrifying move in real life. Like, you know, to actually do that to somebody, it's a pretty crazy move. It's a scary move with a lot of responsibility on you and on the other person. And I guess my question is like, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but like, what's the worst that's ever come out? Because you've obviously had to do it thousands of times.
Well,
I mean,
what?
You must know more than me.
There's a couple of significant ones.
Yes,
I should have Googled this instead of saved
no. For the most part,
Koko B. Ware used to be 6'6", by the way.
So let me start with Koko. So when I debuted Survivor Series 1990, I was Ted DiBiase's. You know, he debuted this guy, so I got to work against Dusty Rhodes, the Hart Foundation, and Koko B. Ware. And obviously the whole match was designed to, you know, make me look good and shine. The very first Tombstone that I give was to Koko. And I give him the Tombstone. 1, 2, 3, he's out. Anyway, we end up finishing the match, whatever. I get backstage. Koko is like, he gets me in the hallway, and man, he's just giving me the riot act. Like, man, you know, somebody gives you your body, you got to be able to protect them, man. You hurt my neck. And I'm like, Koko, man, like, hey, if I hurt you, man, I'm sorry. I really pride myself on, you know, being safe and taking care of the guys that I'm working with. I said, I apologize. And he just, you know, he kept going. He was pissed. He kept going. And anyway, it got to the point where, like, I'd apologized all I could apologize for, you know. And I was like, and that's what I said. I was like, Koko, I was like, I've apologized to you as much as I know how to do. I said, if you're not going to accept that, like, you know, maybe we need to go out in the lot, and, you know, and figure this out.
This versus Koko.
Well, hey, Koko was tough, man. He's a tough dude, but I mean, he's already confronted me. I mean, you know, he's already given me the riot act. He's looking up at me. I'm like, that took balls in its own right.
Yeah.
And, you know, but he was like, no, man, you just need to learn to be more careful. And that was it. And me and Koko were fine. We've been fine ever since. And, you know, anytime we see each other, you know, we hug and everything else. Will you shut up?
Let me snug. We're just showing the
get for perspective.
Oh,
like, come on! It didn't deserve all. It didn't deserve all that. Now
he folded him up like a cheap card table.
Anyway,
I was.
Koko used to be.
You were going to take him in the lot and beat the shit out of him after that.
I would apologize. I apologized.
He had probably forgotten that you'd apologize. Every time you apologize, he probably had no. I don't know if I brought this up to you yet, but you need to be safer out there.
Could you imagine if he was actually facing the hard camera where we could actually see what happened?
Oh, man. Yeah. That's why it looked so bad, because I wasn't facing hard camera. If I'd have been facing, you would. Anyway, so all these years.
It's like, I was a little bit of a snug Tombstone.
So all these years, I thought I really
You have to show that. I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but you have to have that go over again and again on the actual video part of this. That one little GIF.
I mean, Koko and all
one
of the
leg disappearing.
We had to. So the first time he ever talked about this, we had to do a follow up. Where Mark was like, you know, after watching that video.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, I, after it came up, I actually went and watched it back, and I was like, oh.
So
Koko had a little bit of beef there. I was like, damn, because I was always under the impression, I was like, man, he's overreacted here a little bit. And then I went back and watched it, and I was like,
overreaction.
I was like, holy shit, I damn near killed Koko.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But The
You almost
only
made
one
Frankie
that,
an orphan.
yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
the only one, obviously, that's worse than that. I mean, it was I damn near broke the Golden Goose's neck with the air tombstone.
You know the Hogan story, right?
No.
Oh, you don't know this story? Oh man, 1991, my 1 year anniversary with the company. I wrestle at Survivor Series. I wrestle none other than the Golden Goose himself, and that was, Hogan was referred to as the Golden Goose. He was the star, the moneymaker, the big dude. So, I'm going to go over. I'm going to win the championship. And at the time, I was the youngest. That would have made me the youngest champion in WWF at the time history. Like Hogan back in the day, the rest of the talent usually had to show up by 1 o'clock on a pay-per-view TV day. Hogan usually roll in around 5, do his deal. So I get there. It's at Joe Louis Arena, Detroit, Michigan. I show up there about noon, 12:30. Hogan's already there.
Oh.
And I'm walking down the hall, just going to my locker room, and he goes, "Hey brother, can I talk to you?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, man. Yeah." I said, "Let me just drop my bag off." He's, "No, I'll come with you." So I go into the dressing room. I put my bag off. He goes, "Hey, let's go back here into the shower." Like back in the day, you go in the shower. Usually means you're going to settle something or something that had to be discussed that was important. You're either going to fight or something was going to happen. That's usually where it happened at. So we go back into the shower. Nobody can hear us. Nobody talk. He goes, "Hey, I'm really nervous about taking the Tombstone. I got this bad neck." And I was like, "Terry," I said, "Look, I promise you," I said, "I'll take great care of you. I don't need, you don't need to worry. I'll have you." I said, "Just don't worry about it." "Well, I've got a lot of neck issues." I was like, "Well, I mean, and he said, "I'm going to do it. I just need you to know I got these neck issues." And I was like, "Brother, I promise you, your head will never touch." Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we have this conversation. We part ways. Now, every time that I see him for the rest of the day, like, going through catering or whatnot, he gives me the old, like, "Don't forget what we talked about," right? He's like, he'd hold his neck and, give me, "Brother." So, it started to get to me a little bit. Like, I'm about to beat Hulk Hogan for the world heavyweight title. And, so we get into the match, and match goes the way it goes. Now it's time for the finish. Finish is where I'm going to tombstone him on a chair. Flair he runs down to the ring, slides the chair into the ring. I give him a tombstone on the chair. That was going to be it. 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, I had the man. And the man was, I've given my kids rougher bumps than I give Hogan.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I wrap him up. I've got him. The chair comes down. Boom. As soon as my knees touch, right? Which, Hogan's a big dude. Boom. As soon as my knees touch, "Oh, brother, you got me." I'm like, "Oh, shit. Oh, I just crippled the Golden Goose. I just hurt Hogan."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've gone from becoming champion till I'm going to probably get fired over this, right?
Yeah.
This is all running through my mind in the instant. Like, oh, crap. He warned. I am just like in strict panic mode. He's laying there. Finally, he gets up and he leaves. I don't remember if he was helped out or whatnot. So I'm here, like I'm supposed to be having this moment, which it had to have been internal anyway, because I'm the Undertaker, and the Undertaker wouldn't celebrate. But all I'm thinking of is like, I'm about to go backstage and get fired. and I've hurt Hulk Hogan on top of it, right? This is like, you just fumbled. So I'm walking back, and I get backstage, and I was like, where's Hogan? And they said, no, he's in Vince's office. I'm like, great. So I go into Vince's office there at Joe Louis. Hogan's laid on the floor.
Oh, no.
Got people all around him, and I'm like, holy shit. So I'm going over, like, check on him and, apologize and everything else. Like, as soon as I start to get over there, here come the EMTs. And like, it's, back then, and it was still kayfabe and everything. Everybody protected the business. So I went into the restroom and was like kind of behind a retaining wall that was like that. And, I can hear the conversation, like, hey, can you feel your hands? Can you this and that? And I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm just like in strict, I'm in total panic. And Shane McMahon comes back, and, he's shaking his head. He's like, I don't really understand why he's shaking his head no, but he's shaking his head like, don't, you shouldn't be worried about this. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? Yeah.
And what is he at the time? Like 18 or something?
Oh yeah, he was young. Yeah. And I can hear the EMTs, they're checking him out. And then all of a sudden I hear Hogan go, somebody get my wife and kids on the phone. And I'm just like, oh. So anyway, they put him on the board, and then they put the board on the gurney. They take him off to the hospital. I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I'm gonna have to start calling. I'm gonna call and apologize to Ole, tell him I'm.
You're right.
I'm right, but can I just, So, but everybody. So I'm walking down the hall, right, and I just think I've crippled Hulk Hogan, and guys are coming up to me like, Mark, his head never touched, and I'm like, no, I can't hear it, right? I mean, I can't. None of that is registering with me. I'm like, no, man, I dropped him on his head. I hurt him bad. I mean, they took him out in an ambulance, and everybody's telling me like,
you're rationalizing it. The chair that's 2 inches higher than what you're used to tombstoning.
Yeah.
He must have clipped it.
But everybody's coming up to
You're
me.
probably replaying what you actually did to Koko B. Ware.
Right. But everybody's coming. That's great. Yeah.
Not again.
Even Koko.
Not again.
Koko was probably at home rolling. See it, son of a bitch. No. So, but all the guys are coming up and saying like, man, his head never touched. And I'm like, no, man, I got him. So we didn't have, I didn't have the same accessibility to monitors and playback back there in 91 as we do now. So it took a few days before I actually got to see the footage. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, fucking head never touched.
Right.
Here you go, Tony.
He was old school. Wow.
You can see how far his head is from the chair.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I've given my kids much rougher bumps than that.
And what sucks about this is Mark has his family in town.
Yeah, I'd flown.
Right.
I'm still trying to dig myself out of debt, but I'm about to win the World Heavyweight Championship, so I've flown my family to Detroit.
Wow.
From Houston, and they're ready to celebrate and have a good time, and I can't even, I couldn't eat. I
missed your reservations. And
everything. It was horrible. But now I see the footage, and I'm thinking, his head never touched. Like, why? So now I'm having to have this. They come up with this Tuesday in Texas, this pay-per-view that they just add out of the clear blue. Pay-per-view on Tuesday never happened, but now there's this Tuesday in Texas pay-per-view. I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to be my punishment. They're going to take the title away from me right now, and all this stuff's in my head. But I'm going to get an answer. So I'm thinking, well, I ain't got fired yet, but I need to know what's going on here. So Terry shows up, and I pull him aside, and I was like, Terry. And he goes, yeah, brother. I was like, I watched the footage back of that Tombstone. And he was like, yeah, brother, yeah. And I was like, your head never hit. He goes, oh, yeah, brother. Well, what it was that you had me so tight when you were protecting me, but you had me so tight that when I came down, like I didn't have any room to move, and it wrenched my neck. And I'm like, at that moment right then, I knew. I said, okay. Like, what am I doing? I can't, I'm not going to fight Hulk Hogan. I don't, that's definitely a red slip there, a pink slip. But it let me know everything that I needed to know at that time about who he was as a person. Like, come on, man. Mm-hmm. Like, and to this day, I don't know if he was just trying to hold me back or whatever the situation was.